Okay, we are now live on Facebook. Hi guys, so as part of the workshops happening this week, I have tried to make it a point to introduce the workshop leaders about a day before their workshop to give you an opportunity to meet them beforehand and hear a little bit about what they have in store for you, so that you don't come in totally blind. Today we have Luciana from Argentina, who will be conducting a workshop tomorrow using Sumerian mythology and something to do with dark goddesses and inner goddess. And she works a lot with the divine feminine. So I thought to just let her speak a bit about herself and the workshop tomorrow, so you have an idea. Yeah, so why don't you start?
Well, hi everyone. Thanks, Valencia. Yes, so that's exactly the idea. Since we are going now into this topic, I thought it would be also a nice way to bring this myth. This is a classic Sumerian myth that talks about going into the underworld, and these are this kind of initiation uh, journeys that goes um, that the goddesses have to go through. In this case, it's a goddess. It's the goddess Inanna. So we will go through the descent of Inanna into the underworld, and she will meet her sister Eshkigal, who is the goddess of the underworld. And the idea is exactly that, to meet, to understand about it, like what is it there, what do we talk, what do we mean when we talk about the shadows and the underworld, what are we talking about, and how do we connect with these energies, and what is it there actually for us, because at the beginning it may sound a bit scary, or we may have some kind of rejection towards it. But well, what this has to tell us, spoil alert, is that that there are a lot of gifts and there's a lot of beauty actually below, beyond those shadows and that darkness. And that's exactly what we would like to explore with this workshop.
And how did you first encounter this myth about Inanna?
This myth about Inanna, actually it came as an exploration after working much more with other goddesses, especially, well, there's one that people may be a bit more familiar, maybe, if you're a bit on the topic, that it's the one of Persephone and Demeter. And there are parallels in these two myths. And so after working quite a lot with this one, I came with the other one of Ereshkigal and Inanna. And this myth and working with the goddesses and these archetypes and all really helped me in my particular journey, in my personal journey. Not just on the darkness, not just when talking about the darkness or the shadows, but as a path to totality, as a path to explore and embrace my wholeness, my totality. So I studied this. I studied the feminine, the divine feminine arts for some time. Took my courses and stuff, and that's where I came with these goddesses, all of them, or many of them at least.
Okay, yeah, I kind of heard of the name Inanna uh, when I was reading up about like actually like ancient histories of the world involving like Anunnaki. I don't know if you're familiar with that term.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the idea is that Inanna was an Anunnaki or something like that, whatever that might mean. Something about how she's I can't remember fully the details, but something about her like equivalent of Venus or something like a Venus in the story that involves her. I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, there is a relation. You said Venus, right? Yeah, there is a correlation with that. We could say that in a way. Yeah, you know how mythology goes, right? That it goes from one culture into the other, and
yeah, it's like archetypes.
Yes, these archetypes, yes, they connect, and so each culture just takes maybe some qualities of the myth or of the goddess, and they apply it to another one, and maybe they crop what they other parts and they leave it behind, and because it's evolving, it's alive. These archetypes are just to somehow lead us and take us. They're like maps of the psyche. So yes, there is a connection between Venus. That's the one that has been taken from. There is a connection between them too. So those who are more connected with that, yes, you can, because both of them were. Inanna is also like the goddess from the upper world, and Venus is also the one representing, of course, love, but also like sexuality and sensuality, right? And fruition, like life and joy and all that is alive and all this. So that is precisely why it's interesting to see what happens when this side of ourselves, this energy, encounters the deepness of the shadows, right? If we only stay with this joy and which is amazing, right? We love it. We love pleasure and sensuality and and life. But what this myth comes to tell us is precisely that. Like, what would happen is this Venus, that may be a goddess that we are more familiar with, what would happen when this Venus encounters more deaths? What happens then? So it's like completing the circle, completing the wheel, right?
Yeah, okay. And sorry for the noise. It's a beginning. Yeah, so what do you think people could hope to sort of gain from this experience of the goddess embodiment workshop?
I would say, first of all, to recognize that to acknowledge that these energies lie within us. They are there, whether we like them or not, whether we want them or not, they are there. So first of all, to look at them straight into the eyes, and it's a very beautiful way to begin accepting ourselves, the fullness, like the totality of ourselves. And so that's the first thing, and just that, to me, it's a lot, I believe. And so to embrace our totality. And so first of all, that acknowledging all of these things that we have been sweeping under the carpet, right? And hiding, whether because of social conditioning, or just because, we have inherited them, or our personal, whatever, taste, but we feel it's disgusting or repulsive or scary, or maybe it's too much. Maybe it's we find it like, sometimes they're even that's the other thing. And the second, and that's the other thing that I wanted to point out, is to identify all those things, or at least some of them, to begin this journey, and to identify these things that are holding us back, and and to also maybe to be able to see the beauty behind them, to go through. I always say that the only way out is through, right? To go through this scary or whatever things are. And many times our deepest, what I believe is that our deepest and richest gifts lay beyond these shadows. So the idea is to get in contact with them, at least the first contact, the first connection with them, to begin our journey.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with regards to my own life journey with shadow work, how it has led me to my creative self that has been asleep before that. So yeah, okay. So I think hopefully people there will be some who will resonate with this information and are interested to check out this workshop. If you're watching this right now, you'll find that the link to register for the workshop is in this post. And also Lu has mentioned that she can conduct this in both English and Spanish, even though this might mean that it will take a bit more time because it's a lot of words. Yeah, I don't know if maybe you want to say a short thing in Spanish for those who are Spanish speakers who might be watching this.
You about the workshop, you mean?
Yeah, very like summary.
Bueno, el taller, aquí Valencia me pide que si puedo darle una pequeña síntesis del taller que vamos a ofrecer. Este taller, la intención es poder sumergirnos un poco en el mundo en este mundo de las sombras, que suena muy tenebroso quizás, pero es ese espacio donde de todas estas cositas que hemos estado barriendo quizás debajo de la alfombra o manteniendo ahí ocultas, y la intención con este taller es, bueno, en primer lugar reconocerlas, mirarlas a los ojos, y además, bueno, quizás podamos tener también la posibilidad de encontrarnos con esas cosas que nos limitan y ver la belleza. Yo siempre digo que las mayores riquezas y los mayores aprendizajes suelen venir del otro lado de la sombra, ¿no? Que que la única salida es atravesándola. Así que espero poder encontrarles por ahí. Thank you, gracias.
Yeah, thank you. And hope to see you at the workshop tomorrow. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is 8 p.m. where Luciana is in Argentina. Mm-hmm. And it's free. So just join and check it out and yeah, see what you'll find. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Thank you for your time and see you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, Valencia. Thank you very much and hope to see you all there.
Yeah, bye. Oh, I'm so confused.